Now the beef between the Kitchens and the Coasters goes back to either 79 or 80 when
Lil Beaver got killed.
when Beaver got shot.
Lil Beaver.
Lil Beaver got killed at a party. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about that? Because that's what kicked off the whole rivalry.
That's what kicked it off. I wasn't there. I was in Camp Scott.
Okay.
I was in Camp Scott. But what I do know, and what I have been told, they got into it. We was all kicking it. You know, we all was homies. We knew each other, lived at, you know, from the 6-pack all the way down to the 8-9s, you know, because 8-9s was right there with us. We was tight as hell. When that happened, Big Beaver didn't want it to go. That was his brother. He didn't want us to war. But us as being youngsters, we took it another level.
Now, from what I understand, doing a little research, Little Beaver, was actually trying to kill somebody else at that moment, and either his gun jammed or someone beat him to it.
He pulled his gun first. It jammed, and he got shot. Then his gun went off.
Okay, but he was the only one that died that night.
Yeah.
Okay, so do maybe the Coasters look at it as, hey, he was trying to kill one of ours at that moment, for all those who were there at the party and witnessed it, right?
See, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're going to have two sides to a story, you know. But, you know, I've talked to a lot of coasters that was there. I talked to Beaver. I talked to my homies that was there. You know, it would have been the other side, you know, if his gun would have went off, you know. So, but being young, you know, hey, that was the homie. We love Lil Beaver, you know. Just went to another level.
So when the Coasters picked it up with the Florences, that was kind of like motivated y'all to do it too, right? Because if the Mexicans could do it, y'all could do it.
Not really, because we was already talking about it before. You know, before they even sat down.
But they tied the knot though.
Yeah, but they tied the knot. And then we didn't have to, but we did, because me and Doc, Kitchen Mo, and our relationships go back. And then it was like, it wasn't really to be honest, it wasn't really no real killings going on anyway. It had slowed down, you know? And it was like, if I catch you up here, I might jump out on you or whatever, or homie might get rack pack. It wasn't no real killings going on in a while. So it was time. It was time.
Hey, you know what I noticed? That you say, Big Beaver, he didn't really want for it to go that way, right?
Yeah, that's his brother that got killed.
Yeah, and that seemed like the same thing with Big Rick on the West Side with the '60s. He wasn't really trying to kick it off with the A-Track gangsters. He's one of the individual that did it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, they knew who did it, you know. And Beaver kicked it with both sides. You know, he was there, so he didn't really want it to happen. Like I said, the younger generation, me, a couple homies took it to another level.
And whatever happened to Big Beaver?
He out.
Okay.
He out. I see my homie all the time. He working good, and you know, he staying his way. He comes through. I go see him every now and then. You know, let's leave it at that.
And Lil Beaver was the first casualty of is Lil Beaver your generation?
No, he's the second generation. I'm the third generation.
Okay. So he's one of the first casualties.
Yeah.
From the generation right before you.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as Crip on Crip.
Yeah, that was the first Crip on Crip with us. Right.
You know what's interesting, when you look at the Crip on Crip rivalry, 79, 80 is really when it kicks off. I think Little Beaver might be 80. I'm not sure. Is it? Do you know? You remember what year that was?
I was in camp in 80. It had to be 79 or 80. 79 or 80.
Let me see. I might have it here. But what?
It was 78, 79 or 80, because I know I went to Nellis in 81. I already was in camp in 80 when that happened.
Well, it definitely wasn't 78.
It was 79.
Yeah. 79 or 80. But something was going on, you know. There's no way I could ever understand it, because first of all, I wasn't even living in LA in 79. I was just 8 or 9 years old. But something was happening here, because you got the 60s and the A-Trays getting into it in 79. Mm-hmm. You have the Hoovers and the Hunnits getting into it in 79 under by Lil Ani. I don't know if they called it the Hunnits back then, but Lil Ani gets killed in 79. Actually, Lil Ani gets killed before Tyrone, Big Rick's brother, a month before. A lot of people think it's Big Rick's little brother Tyrone is the first Crip on Crip, but Lil Ani dies like a month before Tyrone gets killed.
But could you count Ani, because 9-0 was Hoover back then? So wouldn't that be considered in-house?
I'd have to talk to others that probably would have more information on that.
You know what? They brought that up. on that podcast.
I did hear them talk.
They brought
when
what
Big
you
Miz
said.
when Big Miz was on there.
They
Yeah,
brought it up on the podcast.
That'd be considered like in-house.
but it's still Crip, right?
Yeah.
Nah, it ain't rivals though. It was in-house. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it depends on who you think was the shooter of Lil Ani.
Based on that interview,
Yeah,
yeah.
but something was going on in 79, 80
It was kicking it.
between the Crips.
It was going on, changing up. I don't know because, like I said, like I was in camp when Lil Beaver got killed. I still remember. I was in.
So you went to camp in 79?
Shit. Yeah, before when he got killed, I was in camp. So I was in. Shit. Yeah.
What year the folk trades in the Broadways, you think?
I think that was in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to see if I had a date here for Lil Beaver, but I don't have a date.
You looked it up before.
I know I did look it up before. I did have.
Yeah, I was in Camp Scott in 79 and 80. Yeah, I was in Camp Scott when Lil Beaver got killed. I was in Camp Scott. I was young. Shit, I was just 12.
So then you guys got to the table with the East Coasters, right? How many months after the Florence thing?
I think about a month and a half later.
Okay, because I believe the Florence thing was solidified by September of 2019. So by the end of 2019, you guys were already working it out.
Yeah, we was working it out.
Okay. And was that under the banner of United We Stand, or that was before you guys established that as a movement?
Well, it was under United We Stand, but a couple homies been talking about it before, like Kitchen Mo and Lil Doc have been talking about it when they was in jail and all that before. But really, I got to say under United We Stand.
Now, there's been so many conversations now in that building towards peace. Some of them have been official, some of them are unofficial. I know I saw the Peblos and the villains come up there multiple times, but I don't know if they've ever made anything official yet.
That's gonna take work.
Yeah, I don't know. That they come,
Yeah.
they do come. We have events, they do come. They talk, they do come. But they working on it because right now we starting back the table for the East Side. We really are. We trying to get everybody from the East Side to come and sit down.
Now, yeah, I remember when I first started going there, it was an East Side thing. Mm-hmm. We want all the East Side to get solidified. Mm-hmm. Would you say in the last 5 years, how much progress do you think you guys have made in the last 5 years?
A lot. I could say then we, after us, I sat down with Doc and I said, got to talk to the Five Deuces, Broadways. Doc made a call. I made a call. And then they sat down. It didn't go right away. But then when they sat down, they did what they had to do. So that was three. That's three neighbor. That was three hoods that did that. Then we have, let me see. We got a couple more hoods that's sitting down at the table talking right now. I don't want to mention their names right now, but our bridge meetings is bringing East and West inside. We do that every Thursday, the third Thursday of the month. We bring all different organizations in that has something to offer that we can sit down and talk.